Our gardens form 27% of our total urban area and almost 50% of our green infrastructure within our towns and cities. The role our garden plays within mitigating climate change and providing habitat is absolutely crucial.
Trees are key drivers in the carbon dioxide and water cycle, and associated effects of that are they can reduce water in saturated soils, they provide transpirational cooling, and they store carbon in their trunks. In terms of regulating weather impacts, trees capture rainfall in their canopy and structure, reducing rainfall speed and droplet size reaching the ground, which protects the soil from excess runoff and also erosion. A tree that is growing for a number of years will also keep carbon stored in the soil for longer because it's keeping the soil undisturbed. Trees can also help mitigate air pollution by either physically creating a barrier between you and a busy road, and particle pollutants can actually be captured on the structure of the leaves and in the tree itself. In addition, you can then have airborne pollutants being absorbed by the undersides of the leaves. Trees are essential in providing food and habitat for wildlife, which is increasingly important in tackling the biodiversity crisis we're facing, and especially in urban areas where these provisions are lacking.
Before you source your tree, get to know your garden a little bit. Think of size, aspect and soil type. If we can get these three elements right, we'll be picking the right tree for the right place. Don't rush into buying a plant. Trees provide all of their fantastic benefits much more when they reach maturity, so try and consider it as a permanent fixture within your garden. So try to think about the overall size of your garden. Will a small tree fit better? For example, this Malus scarlet right here has beautiful pink flowers and red foliage, but won't get too big or overgrow the space. Or can your garden accommodate a much larger tree at mature size, something that might grow to 20 metres high or 10 metres wide? Another important thing to consider is aspect. How does the sun move through your garden throughout the day? Things like buildings or trees might cast shade over the garden, but they might also provide shelter from wind. All these things are important to consider when you're choosing your tree. So it's worth digging a hole in your garden and finding out what type of soil you've got. Find out whether it's clay, and like this you'll be able to put clogs of soil into your hand and bring it into balls, and that just gives you an indication that you're working with clay there. Or if you find that it's really gritty and doesn't form balls, then chances are that you've got sandy soils. Another really important element when you're selecting trees is the soil pH. You can get soil pH testing kits at your local garden centre. If you've got a soil pH of around about 7, that means you're around about neutral. Anything below that is acidic, and anything above 7 is alkaline. There's a more extensive list on the RHS website, but here are a few of my recommendations for trees for different sites. So for dry sites, you could try something like Ginkgo biloba, which in the autumn will give you beautiful yellow foliage. Or if you want purple foliage in autumn, you could try something like liquid amber. If spring flowering is what you're after though, you could perhaps try something like a magnolia. So for areas that might be a little bit more wet or seasonally waterlogged, you could try something like Aulus glutinosa, which is a lovely native tree. Or a great option for smaller gardens would be Helisa carolina or Carolina silverbell. Alternatively, you can go with something a little bit different like Taxodium disticum. This is a deciduous evergreen but will thrive in wet conditions. Or if you're looking for a tree to provide shade within your garden but want something that will tolerate a range of different site conditions like wet or dry, you could try Carpinus betula or hornbeam, which is a native tree with beautiful silver bark. Or you could try something a little bit different like Quercus phellos, also known as willow-leaved oak. Some trees will serve multiple purposes. Take Acer campestri for example. Great for pollinators, but can be used as a standalone tree or a hedgerow tree. Or one of my favourites, Crataegus monogyna or hawthorn. Beautiful white flowers in May, followed by juicy red berries that will act as food for birds in the autumn. If you still can't choose, look out for the AGM logo. This is the RHS Award of Garden Merit, which means we've trialled it rigorously and found that it's reliable, easy to grow and easy to source. So that's it. I hope that's furthered your understanding of the many benefits that trees can provide, and also given you a little food for thought next time you're selecting a tree for your space. For more information or further reading, click the link in the description below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And good luck choosing the right tree for your space.